What is going on, guys? My name is Dustin. Welcome to another episode of Yappin in the Morning. Today we're going to talk about Matthew Stafford trade rumors. They're really heating up right now. And then we're going to get into Jalen Hurts and is he elite? We're going to talk about it. So right out the gate, man, Matthew Stafford to the Giants is the hottest topic on Twitter right now, in my opinion. Like, there's so many, I see so many tweets from not even Giants fans. Obviously, I'm a big Giants fan. But the New York media is really leaning into it. So we're going to have to talk about it a little bit. Kelly Stafford obviously has her podcast. She's been kind of hinting at wanting Matthew Stafford to get moved. I think it's pretty clear that they just did not like the way that the Cooper Kupp situation was handled. And maybe that he's looking for a new contract. Maybe if they don't give him the right number, he might just be gone. Like, he might request a trade. I don't know. But right now, the Giants are the current betting favorites to land Matthew Stafford if he gets traded. And this isn't just me making this up. This is literally, is happening in real time. New York media, like I said, is starting to really ramp it up. And, Malik Neighbors has been talking a lot about it. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how this one shakes out. And if the Giants do get Matthew Stafford, where does that put them in the NFC East? Because obviously you still got probably the Eagles and Commanders at 1-2. Are the Giants still in the basement of the NFC East, even if they land Matthew Stafford? It's possible. So I don't know if you go out and spend a whole lot, especially of draft capital, to trade for a 37-year-old Matthew Stafford. Obviously, I'm going to be very excited that we get a consistent quarterback over here in New York, but is it going to be worth a round 2 or 3 pick this year and then possibly a day 2 pick next year? It's really one of those things. And I'm sorry, Rams fans, you're not going to get the number 3 overall pick for Matthew Stafford. I don't know who is putting this into your brain. That's not going to happen. You're not going to get a Russell Wilson type trade package for a 37-year-old Matthew Stafford who is on a contract year and needs money. All right, that's just not going to happen. If you guys do re-sign him, that's awesome. I'm happy for you guys, but you're not going to get the number 3 pick this year. I'm sorry, that's just not happening. But like I said, I think realistically his trade package probably looks like the Giants' second rounder this year, or possibly if they can sneak it out, the third rounder this year, and then a day 2 pick, so a second or third rounder next year. And honestly, that's fair for me. I think that's a fair trade. I wouldn't be mad about that. But if Joe Shane goes ahead and trades any a first rounder, or even I just don't like anything too deep into the future for a 37-year-old quarterback. Obviously it is Super Bowl champion Matthew Stafford, but we just seen what the Jets did with an aging Super Bowl champion quarterback. It's not an all the time win. Yes, it's a win now move, but it kind of feels like a last ditch Hail Mary to save GM's jobs. If this is a last-ditch effort to save your job because you just didn't do a good enough job building the roster, it's not going to work. Matthew Stafford can't get out there and play cornerback. Like I said, I'm very pro Matthew Stafford. I'm just trying to give a little pros and cons on the situation. The Rams, if you guys do end up keeping Matthew Stafford, what's that contract going to look like for a 37-year-old quarterback? I see a lot of Rams fans being well, we're not going to trade Matthew Stafford. Why would we do that? Well, what are you willing to pay a 37-year-old quarterback? And if he ends up wanting, if he doesn't re-sign with you guys next year, that's value that you just didn't get because you guys weren't willing to trade him on a contract year. That is, if you're not going to re-sign a player, you have to trade them on their contract year. You get value out of them if you don't intend on trading them. I said this for Saquon. I said this for Xavier McKinney. If we weren't intending on re-signing them, why wouldn't you trade them? Get the value out of them, or fucking re-sign them. All right, I'm done with that tangent. Still a lot of bad blood there. Saquon Barkley just won a Super Bowl ring without the Giants, so a little on edge about that. Not gonna lie, a little on edge this morning. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how this Matthew Stafford situation shakes out. Let's talk about my next topic. Is Jalen Hurts finally considered elite? You're going to have to go ahead and let me know in the comments, man. I'm really curious on where everyone's stance is. And tell me what your favorite team is also. If you think he's elite, say yes or no, and then comment your team name next to it, because we really have to talk about how Eagles fans jumped out and said Eli Manning got carried to the Super Bowl by his defense. Eli Manning got carried in the Super Bowl by his defense. Jalen Hurts' defense led up 23 total yards by halftime. That is an all-time great Super Bowl performance by the Eagles defense. Like, they were dominant. That was like probably the best Super Bowl performance by defense I've seen since like the 2014 Seahawks. It was incredible. Top to bottom, they absolutely dog whipped the Chiefs. The Chiefs offensive line looked like a high school offensive line going out there against fucking, obviously it's Georgia's pretty much defensive line, but I digress, man. Is Jalen Hurts elite? Let's look at the stat line. 221 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Obviously, they didn't have to pass the ball too much because they were up 24-0 at halftime. But most of us thought Saquon Barkley was going to probably carry this game. Jalen Hurts outrushed Saquon by 15 yards. So almost 20 yards. And Saquon didn't get a touchdown. So the Chiefs successfully contained Saquon. And Jalen Hurts took the ball, put it in his hands, and basically just ran it. You know, he took what the Chiefs were giving him, and he made the most of it. So, I mean, he had 303 total yards, 3 total touchdowns. He 100% deserved the MVP. But if we're going to talk about an elite defense performance, I think you got to give the defense their flowers, man. Obviously, Jalen Hurts didn't get carried the entire game by his defense, but the Chiefs were never in this game. The Chiefs got taken out of this game by halftime, so I don't know if you can. Like the other 16 points that the Eagles put up. It almost feels cherry picked. Like, this game was over at halftime. I don't think there was any doubt in anybody's mind about that. I am really curious. Is this finally what puts Jalen Hurts in the elite section? Or is he kind of like Joe Flacco? He had an elite defense, got a Super Bowl ring off the back of a great defense. There's a lot of parallels there. It's kind of, I don't know. I don't know where I stand on it, and maybe it's just because I'm a Giants fan. I'm a little bit biased on Eagles players having success. But, like, I'm watching the highlights it's all defense. The highlights are pretty much all defense in the first half. Like, it's just Patrick Mahomes getting bull rushed every single play. I don't know, man. And lastly, this was requested. Pitchers and catchers reported to spring training today. I think spring training starts here in a couple of weeks. If you guys want me to talk about baseball during the offseason, definitely make sure to drop a comment. Say, yeah, like, let's talk a little baseball. Like, obviously, I'm not going to make it the entire show, but if I do put a little section of baseball in there, I would love to talk Yankees baseball or even other teams' baseball. Just let me know what your guys' team is, and maybe I'll slip in, talk about them a little bit. I've also been posting on Twitter if you guys have any questions for me to answer. So we're going to go ahead and do that section now. All right, first up, we got BCW cards. Are the Patriots all the way back once they take Travis Hunter and end up with Cooper Kupp or T. Higgins in the free agency? Honestly, I really think Drake May just needs some weapons surrounding him, and he's going to be a monster. I'm really going to be high on Drake May fantasy next year, if we're being honest. And I don't really love signing Cooper Kupp or trading for him right now. They're obviously looking to move him. We talked about this last week. But if you're going to sign a free agent or go after a free agent, like, I think you have to go after T. Higgins. T. Higgins is an absolute wide receiver one. He's a star. He just needs the work. And I'm telling you, if you let him be the wide receiver one on this Patriots team, if they cough up a big contract, T. Higgins is going to be a 1,500-yard plus receiver, man. Just book it now. If the Patriots get a hold of T. Higgins, I'm saying, like, it's gonna get real over there in the AFC East, man. And if they take Travis Hunter, I don't know if Travis Hunter will quite fall to the 4th pick. He might, obviously, if the Titans, Browns, and Giants go ahead and try to go quarterback, and he's probably going to fall to 4. But I really don't see him slipping out of the top 3. Travis Hunter is just, he's a generational talent. I think he's going to play both ways. He'll probably especially play both ways for a team like the Patriots. Not saying that they're bad. I'm just saying that they will be able to get use out of him playing both ways. I think he'll be a good corner. I think you play him all the time on corner, let him play every single defensive snap, and then I think you put him in like a red zone package. Inside the 20, inside the numbers, let the dude work, let the dude catch some go balls, get him in the offense that way. Don't make him play 100% of the game snaps. Make him play like 65 to 70. Like really just get his work in and see how long he can do that, honestly. And I think he can do that for a long time. I mean, it hasn't bothered him at all in college, and I know the NFL isn't college, but dude, it's still the same amount of cardio. So if he's conditioned for it, let him rip at it. Fuck it. Next up, we got Will Maggard. Malik Neighbors requested a veteran quarterback in the room. If they choose to draft a quarterback, who would you want them to trade/sign? I really want the Giants to, like I said, right now, either go after Matthew Stafford if the price is correct, or sign a free agent like Justin Fields. I feel like Justin Fields is absolutely a great bridge quarterback. And if we don't end up drafting a quarterback, we'll really need to go after a veteran, because I cannot watch another fucking year of just piss poor quarterback play of, oh, we'll get somebody in the future. This is the big offseason. Go after a quarterback now. Get a veteran. Draft one. I don't really care. Get a veteran, draft one in the later rounds if you can't get the top two guys. Let's fill out the quarterback room. Clear everybody out. Get Drew Lock out of there. Get Tommy DeVito out of there. Really clear out just clean out the clubhouse, man. All right, we're starting from scratch with this quarterback room. So, yeah, that's where I'm sitting. And like I said, Malik Neighbors is really, really pushing for this Matthew Stafford. I think he even got quoted in an interview. He said, I really like the way he throws the ball. No shit. Me too. Bring number 9 to New York. So yeah, guys, that has been this episode. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to drop a like. If you guys have any other topics you want me to cover or talk about, drop them in the comments, man. I'm open to talk about anything. I'm going to post another mailbag questions. If you guys want to reply to me on Twitter, @DJDustSports, it's right underneath right there. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week.